Aha! You must be looking for a quest.
No.
Look at those robes.
I'm pretty sure that's a blanket, Robin.
No, those are the ancient robes of the Temple of Sagrada.
What?
Sagrada! It doesn't matter. The point is, they are rich. This could be our opportunity, our chance to finally see some action, to slay some monsters.
I don't know, I'm really more of an arts and crafts kind of guy.
At least, let me hear him out.
Okay, fine, I'll go get the beer.
I have a task for you that will require the utmost skill and finesse.
Hey, that's us.
You will travel to the great cathedral and there...
Slay the dragon.
What?
Banish the demon that's possessing the archbishop.
No.
What then?
You will help to finish the windows.
What?
Ooh, that sounds great! When do we start?
Hello and welcome to Which is Greater. Today we're looking at Role Player, which is basically character creation, the game.
And Sagrada, which is Spanish for stained glass.
That's not what Sagrada means. What?
That makes sense.
In Role Player, you draft your dice to fill your player board to create your very own fantasy role-playing character. Like my elf here. Isn't she gorgeous?
In Sagrada, you draft dice and fill your player board to make your very own stained glass window.
In Role Player, take one die per round and put it in a space, being careful of colour and value, and then trigger the special ability of that rogue.
Take 2 dice per round and place them in the spaces, being careful about colour and value. And optionally, trigger one of the special abilities of the tool cards. This all feels strangely familiar.
We are same, you and I.
What kind of roleplay is this?
But then things start to get a bit different.
The die you draft in Roleplayer determines how early you'll get to visit the card market, a fantastical bazaar of armour, skills, traits and weapons.
This adds an economy element to the game. You'll need cash to buy them, which you can get by taking gold dice.
But you'll also want other colours of dice to fulfil your backstory objective or achieve your character type bonus.
Not to forget, everyone else wants the gold dice too. Cards come in 4 different types.
Weapons offer some ongoing effect, but you can only have as many as you have hands. Armour is all about collecting matching sets. Very fashion conscious, these role players. Traits are all about endgame scoring, and skills offer up little bonus actions you can trigger, but you need to change your alignment to use them. No, on the grid.
That's right, you have alignments, just like D&D.
Robin, what did you do?
I was just talking about D&D.
What? No, you can't say its name! They'll come for us, Robin, with their lawsuits.
Oh no!
Quick, you've got to hide!
Is this okay?
Sagrada is all about careful placement. When you choose a die on your turn, you'll need to place it into your window next to one of the dice you've already placed. However,
you cannot place next to another die of the same colour, nor a die of the same value, and you have to match anything printed on the spaces.
If that means you cannot place a die, tough. Skip that turn, and at the end of the game, you'll lose a point for every empty space on your window. But just placing by these rules isn't enough to actually score you points. Oh no.
You'll be trying to collect as many dice of your secret colour preference as possible, while matching the patterns of the public objectives.
It's a puzzle that is constantly pushing you to achieve more, begging you to push yourself too far, but then giving you the literal tools to get yourself out of trouble. It's so simple, yet deep, tense, and exciting. It's a great game.
Is it clear? Good. Right, dice. Dice go into your player board, where you want the rows to add up to certain totals.
Maybe you're a paladin and want your strength to be 17, but your charisma can be much lower.
Generally speaking, higher value dice are better for this, but taking higher dice gives you last pick in the market, and also makes for hilarious turns when all the dice are 1s and 2s. But maybe you can get around this.
When you play a die into a row, you can use that row's ability, and this often lets you manipulate the other dice on the board and try to make up for earlier mistakes.
You're almost never going to hit your target in every stat, so the question becomes, which do you ditch your low dice into and which do you save your good dice for? It's a good gameplay mechanic, but it's also a good storytelling mechanic. You create the strong but dumb combat character, or the bard with zero charisma. Your character comes to life before your very eyes. And it's this theme that makes Roleplayer a great game. We don't want to make windows, we want to fight monsters, be heroes!
Yeah,
What are you wearing?
my glassmaker's apron.
You must choose.
Time to roll the dice.
Speaking of which, roleplayers are much bigger than Sagradas, which, as we've established on previous episodes, makes them better.
I seem to remember you dismissing that argument when I made it. Besides, Sagrada's dice are translucent.
No one's impressed by your sparkly bits, Matt.
Oh, but they are when I put them inside the stained glass window. What are we talking about again?
Dice!
That's right, and the dice puzzle of Sagrada is so much more elegantly constructed than the mental arithmetic test of Roleplayer.
In Sagrada, I can understand my window and what dice are good for me at a glance, which means I can focus on the interesting decisions of which dice to take and where to put it. And better yet, I can see what you need and hate draft. In Roleplayer, I spend half my time totaling and retotaling my rows of dice, yet that mental computation is hardly justified by the actual puzzle, which is primarily solved by taking mostly high numbers. I'm never going to go through all that effort again for my opponent's board.
Then the little powers are sometimes useless and inevitably get blocked up, which feels frustrating rather than satisfying. Roleplayer manages to be both boringly simplistic and unnecessarily taxing at the same time, which is an achievement in some sense, I suppose.
Yeah, I'll give you that the constant adding up does get annoying. But it's not just about the dice, it's about the card collecting too. And that means that the most interesting decision each round is the initial draft.
But doesn't the card drafting distract from the role in Roleplayer? I mean, there's something to be said for doing a single thing exceedingly well. Like Sagrada!
Actually, it adds the roll with an E.
Ooh, very clever.
Yeah, see, because the cards add so much flavour to your character.
Yeah, but mechanically it's also bland. Set collect armor, some abilities you'll barely use, scoring cards that might score you a couple of points, or are completely useless by the time they come out because you've already committed your dice.
But is that because you don't get enough out of the theme? I mean, you've never played D&D, right?
Yes, sir. We detected an unauthorized reference to our IP. I'll get the lawsuit.
No, I haven't played that. But I do like fantasy settings and stories. And look, a character isn't just a collection of numbers and cards.
But that is character creation.
Or is it just filling out an Excel spreadsheet? Do you even care about the character you've created?
Well,
No, because it isn't a character.
Look at how this arrangement of dice denotes how devoted you are. Can you feel the devotion? It certainly stands out from this resilient fellow.
hey, you start out as a warrior who survived the plague that wiped out their village. You become dedicated or weakened by the plague. There's story there.
Like, I see what you mean, but I don't get any of that during play. Like, I'm too busy adding up dice values or worrying about mechanical effects.
You know, your criticisms of this are more criticisms of D&D.
Will you stop saying that?
They don't care about us.
Yes, I found them. No, they don't suspect a thing. I'll wait for the episode to finish and then I'll show them the suit.
At least in that role-playing game, character creation is just the setup. Roleplayer does nothing with that. Oh, you've made the best construct according to our arbitrary metrics. Well done. Oh, why do people say this game is thematic? Do they even know what theme is?
I keep telling you the theme is character creation.
That's the most boring theme since...
Stained glass windows.
Okay, I'll give you Sagrada might not have the most immediately exciting theme, but it works so much better here.
You build an area of multicolored glass-like dice. The restrictions on color and shade placement make sense in the context of the real Sagrada's colorful windows, and the things you tweak with are obviously tools to rework a window.
Yes, it sounds dull, but it integrates its theme into its gameplay, whereas roleplayer smears less interesting mechanics in fluff.
Okay, I know that roleplayer's dice placement isn't as interesting as Sagrada's, but it's full of nice touches, and the cards do connect thematically to their rules, like greedy gives you points for having gold, and clumsy gives you points for having low dexterity. Besides, the theme is still character creation.
You can't have the mechanics of another game be the theme of a game. No! No! The theme of a game cannot be playing a game. I refuse. And even if it can be, the mechanics are neither as elegant, nor as well integrated, nor simply as enjoyable as those of Sagrada.
I can see this means a lot to you.
Yes! Can we please just agree that Sagrada is the greater game and move on?
Okay, I mean, I actually like Sagrada quite a lot. So, yes, Sagrada wins the Golden Greater. You really don't like roleplayer, do you?
I really kind of don't. Stop right there! You've messed with the wrong company's intellectual property this time, boys.
What are you wearing?
This is our lawsuit. And you're in violation of Section 12, Subsection 4, Paragraph 3b. What is that?
This is the fair use crossbow.
Does every YouTuber have one?
I think so, they certainly need it, but we only get one bolt for every 100 subscribers.
Oh, God, so we need more subscribers to keep us safe.
That's right.
Please subscribe to the channel and click the little bell icon so you don't miss any episodes.
And to help protect us even more, please share this video with everybody you can think of, especially on Facebook and Reddit, where he's too scared to go.
They're very scary places, okay?
See you next time.